Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have found one of the biggest coping articles I have ever found or ever read about Stellar Blade. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this article has to come from from The Gamer, written by Stacy Henley, who I never actually clicked on the picture until now. Why am I not surprised you look like this? Of course, I am not surprised you look like this. But ladies and gentlemen, we have an article here that apparently is trying to flip the script about the entire narrative regarding Stellar Blade and how all the Wokies have lost their mind over the quote-unquote exaggerated beauty in Eve's Stellar Blade. And yet, now they're trying to say they don't care, that nobody cares about Stellar Blade except for gamers.
Stop the cap.
So the article has a headline that reads, "Nobody cares about Stellar Blade's character design except you. This is a theory that Stellar Blade's character design is causing a culture war, but everyone seems to be on the same side." Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolute nonsense. We know that not everybody's on the same side. We know exactly what these people think. We know what people like Stacy Henley love to think when it comes to Stellar Blade, and I guarantee you when you read this article, you're going to realize exactly that. So let's get into this article, guys, from The Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push this out into the YouTube algorithm. So it says, in case you haven't heard, Stellar Blade features an attractive woman as its protagonist. Not just that, she also wears tight clothing and climbs ladders. People have been losing their minds over this. You might jump to conclusions that these people are part of the woke army like me, which I'm glad you at least admitted. Finally, we have somebody who admits that they're woke as shit, but they say that we don't care. Just as we don't care how 2B or Bayonetta dress. Yeah, of course you don't. Of course you don't. You wrote articles talking about over-sexualization of all of those characters, and yet now you're trying to say you don't care. Oh, I don't care. It's all good. Yeah, nobody's buying your BS. Everyone thought Tifa's swimsuit was in character too. No, you didn't. You are fighting ghosts you invented. No, we're not. And then it says, the recent Sweet Baby Inc. controversy has become a catalyst for airing grudges in gaming. You can read more about that saga here, but put it simply, some fans aren't happy about diversity consultants in gaming. The work done by Sweet Baby Inc. has been commonplace for a long time, and devs sync them out voluntarily, but fans are trying to paint this as a culture war. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute bullshit. We know that this thing right here, diversity or diversity consultants, would never be an issue if they weren't making that the focal point of a lot of game stories. Unfortunately, a lot of these characters that get designed, they're designed with diversity in mind first, and then the story takes second place, which you end up with an over stereotypical diverse character that has such a weak story that nobody can connect with it. It doesn't matter what they look like. Nobody can connect with the story. The character is absolute trash. I'm looking at you, Forspoken. The character is just completely just unlikable. They don't know how to make true good diverse characters because they're too focused on the diversity and not focused enough on the story. This is the problem that a lot of gamers have, that we call out on it. And you are a tourist in gaming if you think diversity hasn't been around in the past for a multitude of decades. At this point, you really are a tourist if you think that's the case. Then it says, these players, quite correctly, understand that something has been taken from them in modern gaming, but have chalked this up to more black people and more women in games and in development studios rather than the executive focus on live service cash cows and cut corners necessitated by prohibitively long development cycles. Well, let's be very clear. The more black people and more women in games thing, that's never been an issue. They've existed in games for decades. Decades. This is why I can't take you seriously, because you are a tourist and you don't understand that, number one. Number two, the fact is, we do complain about this stuff. We literally complain about Suicide Squad's live service garbage that we have to deal with, and also the cutting corners of development, all in favor of, guess what? Guess what? If they cut corners in development, guess what they're cutting corners of development for? Because they're focusing on diversity, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we have such a problem. It's one of the issues that they cut corners for. Then it says, this leads us to Stellar Blade. Here's the best part. You guys ready for this? Oh, this is the greatest. It has a female character, but one with exaggerated beauty. Exaggerated beauty. I want to really focus on that part. Exaggerated beauty. This ugly bitch is trying to say that Stellar Blade's Eve character that was based on a real person, A real person's body, one-to-one, aside from the face, is exaggerated beauty. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, of course. Now we have what we call copium. This is massive amounts of copium in this article because this unbelievably ugly bitch decides that she wants to say Eve from Stellar Blade is exaggerated beauty, even though that character was based on a real person. A real person who worked hard on their looks because they take it serious, unlike this bitch. This person is now considered exaggerated. So, unfortunately for the actress who played Eve, she's not real. I don't know if she's aware of that, but she's not real. Then it says, because many gamers taking their hard-headed stance against diversity in gaming see things as a zero-sum black and white battle, that's what you guys do. What are you talking about? They consider a win for them to be a loss for others. This is not a grounded, realistic female design, like in The Last of Us. Holy shit. Wait. I forgot about this part. This is not a grounded, realistic female design like in The Last of Us Part 2. Abby? You're talking about Abby? Abby is grounded and are you serious right now? Abby is grounded and realistic? Are you fucking kidding me? The woman who has a body that requires 5,000 calories to maintain in a post-apocalyptic world that she's lucky if she gets 500 to 1,000 a day? And she's got muscles bigger than fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, how is this realistic? Grounded in realism? Why? Because you like that? Because you look like a dude? Is that how this whole thing is grounded in realism? You sound stupid. Even if I wanted to take your argument seriously in this article, you just lost all credit by trying to say that The Last of Us 2 had grounded, realistic female design because you're referencing Abby. Get the fuck out of my face with that nonsense. Holy shit. So, again, apparently, Eve, the actress who played Eve, is not realistic, is not grounded in realism, apparently, even though she's a real human, real body, real everything, because this ugly bitch says it's not grounded. Suddenly, that means it's not grounded and it's not real. These women, they really cope. They really cope when it comes to beautiful women. This is what feminism is all about. And shout out to my boy Atreus. He's absolutely correct on this. Feminism, it's there for ugly bitches like this to try to put themselves on the same playing field as beautiful women like the person who played Eve. That's what this is about. This is about trying to be on the same exact playing field when we all know if you're both in the same room, you're not getting picked, my dog. You are not the one who's going to play dodgeball. You are going to sit on the benches, if you get my drift. Then it says, but Eve fits Stellar Blade's world. Sure, she's over-designed and very exaggerated, but that's the sort of game this is. She's not over... Bro, she's based on a real person. Those titties, real. That ass, real. That slim waist, real. All of it's real. This is a real person. This is not exaggerated. And they refuse to admit this. They hate this. They hate the idea of even coming close to admitting this because they are ugly as fuck and they don't want to admit it. Then it says there may be specific things to critique in her character once we see the whole game, but just because you don't like quote unquote ugly women doesn't mean everyone else hates beautiful women. See again, 2B Bayonetta Tifa, if you're counting Stellar Blade as a victory, it's clear you have no idea what you're actually angry about because no one sees Stellar Blade as a loss. Yes, you do. You do. By you saying that the character is over-exaggerated and over-designed, you are essentially coping. You wish that the character was more uglified. You wish the character was more like Abby. Well, guess what? That's not going to happen. And then, of course, shout out to my boy Mugen. He's going to be on Saturday Night Hypnosis this Saturday, so make sure you guys don't miss it. It says, I think this game looks cool. I'm worried it will devolve into the sort of motivationalist nonsense we saw in Scarlet Nexus, which the cybertronic aesthetics of the combat remind me of, but mostly I'm pretty hopeful. This person is trying to pretend as if they are just completely super excited about Stellar Blade, but we know that's completely bullshit. We know that this person is not excited for Stellar Blade at all in the slightest. Look at this. Climbs Eve sashaying as she climbs a ladder, and it's obviously sexualized. The devs have been upfront about Eve's behind. Well, are you more like sexualizing it or is everybody else is? Because honestly, this game looks awesome and you can completely ignore it unless you just can't help yourself. And why can't you help yourself? Because you like all that ass, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try to pretend. Let's not pretend as if you don't. You like all that ass and you say it's obviously sexualized because you are sexualized towards that character just like everyone else. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.